Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jaycast podcast. I'm your host, Jay.
And Jay.
Jay has his smooth operator voice on for all you ladies out there who want to get seduced. We have a good show for you guys today. A lot going on. Obviously, we won't be able to cover every single thing, but there's some interesting things going on. How was your week, Jay?
As always, it was really busy. Seems like we don't have enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I told you guys I was gonna do motivational Mondays, but just get motivated, you know. Just get motivated, you know.
Yeah.
But lots been happening in the news. I want to start off with some vindication news. A while back, you guys know who Alex Jones is. I'm sure you know who Alex Jones is.
Nah,
right?
nah. Who's Alex Jones, man? Give him a little brief introductory to who Alex Jones is.
Alex Jones is basically the WWE performer of the conspiracy theory circle. He's the guy who's always making these weird. They're turning the frogs gay. You know, he talks like that. And he talks about like the globalists and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So he's like a conspiracy theorist?
He's a conspiracy theorist who became. He had his own radio show back in the 90s, but he became a lot bigger in the mid 2000s, obviously criticizing George Bush. And then he went from being, you know, big to being infamous after he made some comments over a national event that occurred in Newton, Connecticut. But the point is that a while back, a long time ago, he was shouting a conspiracy theory that the water is turning the frogs gay. Now, I didn't hear that whole video, so I don't know if that was taken out of context or whatever, but that's what they put out there when they talk about Alex Jones and his crazy conspiracy theories. You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. I forgot what kind of chemicals being put into the water, right?
Before we get into that, though, when he said they're turning the frogs gay in the water, paraphrasing there, allegedly also, people were just writing him off as some crazy nut job conspiracy theories, but it turns out that it's not that they're purposely turning the frogs gay. Is that the chemicals that they're using and dumping in the water where the frogs swim is actually doing something to the male frogs, where it's actually changing their
sex.
Yeah, their sex in a way that's like they're able to like give birth or some crazy stuff. It turned out it was proven like very recently, like scientifically speaking, was proven.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because Alex Jones, man, he's made some wild conspiracy theories
Yeah.
that turned out to be true.
Like the Epstein Island.
Yeah, dude, he was talking about how there's
Crazy. An island where like affluent people go and then they get blackmailed because they have certain relationships with underage children. And
he was actually talking about how there is egregious child exploitations within the highest levels of politics. I don't want to say just Washington because it's like a global thing. And people were like, yeah, this guy's kind of crazy. This guy's a little bit nuts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What happens? Somebody blows the lid off of Epstein. And to be honest, man, with the amount of secrecy surrounding the whole Epstein trial, I don't even know how he got that far where he got arrested.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the one also trafficking these women, allegedly, even though she got arrested for it, she got arrested, but there was no who were the people who trafficked them to type of stuff.
Yeah.
There was no she got arrested, but that was it. There was no names, nobody named.
I heard over the weekend that there was the release of the emails, right? But supposedly they were deleted. Something happened.
Dude, I don't know. I'm surprised.
I was too distracted with the submarine.
The submarine. I want to get back to that really quickly because something about a part of that story is kind of messed up when you kind of look back at it. But the one thing with Alex Jones, he said some wild conspiracy theories. Another wild conspiracy theory that he said that might be true. I don't know how many of you guys know the phrase psychonauts. So it's like an astronaut, but this person is a person who actually travels like the realm of the hallucinogenic realm. So,
no, I haven't heard it.
So for those of you who don't know, and we don't endorse this, by the way, we're just giving you the information. A psychonaut is somebody who takes hallucinogenic drugs like LSD and DMT. All of it illegal. You shouldn't do it. These things are illegal. Don't do it. You're gonna break the law if you do it, and we do not endorse that. But when they do take these illicit substances, what ends up happening is that they end up going to another realm, right? They start hallucinating and going to another realm. And the issue with that is that at first, people can say it's just a hallucination, but it seems like a lot of people have been having similar experiences You know what I mean? But they're like, hey, did you do that? And they're like, yeah, I did. Did you see the talking elves? Did you see the machine elves? And many people were having the same exact hallucinations. At least I know with DMT, that's the what they describe. And the CIA allegedly has a program. I don't know if it's the CIA, but a government agency has a program actually where they supposedly take people and they, according to Alex Jones, right? Nothing's been proven yet, but they take these people and they stop their hearts, right? And they drip feed them this type of illicit substances, and they go into the DMT realm and they supposedly map the realm out.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know how
Where,
far.
where does Alex Jones get this information from?
So that's
like,
the thing, right?
Does
So
he have like professionals or something?
so
or?
he supposedly does, and at first people were like, "Oh, this guy's the ramblings of a madman." Oh, by the way, Alex Jones was talking about transhumanism since 2008. By the way,
Wow.
so transhumanism, for those of you who don't know, is people merging with machines. We'll get to that later, but so that's the thing, right? At first, people were like, "Oh, this guy Alex Jones is a nut job, but he's entertaining, so I like to listen to him." But when some of his stuff started coming out that might have been real, people were like, "Yo, this guy might be a CIA guy. Like, he might be a CIA disinformation agent, actually, because the information that he has, either he has good connections or he himself is plugged in and he's told what to say, kind of like David Grush.
Yeah.
David Grush, the guy who came out with the UFO stuff. Um,
Hmm.
Alex Jones actually predicted that there was going to be an invasion of Ukraine when it happened, like a couple of months before it happened.
Wow.
He also predicted that there was going to be an attack on 9/11. Not on 9/11 specifically, but he said there was going to be an attack in July that, Al Qaeda was going to attack the United States or something like that.
Yeah, he might be informed because I mean those things were I mean the government already knew about those things as well. Like they knew that they
Right.
were gonna attack the USA, just didn't know when.
The thing is, Alex Jones is a radio talk show host, right? Quote unquote at that time.
What's his background?
He's a radio talk show host.
That's it. Like
Yeah. He's just doing radio.
What?
Yeah. Is he actually famous for sneaking into Bohemian Grove?
really?
He's the guy with the Bohemian Grove pictures. They had like these owls and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
Ooh.
so Alex Jones, man. At first, it started to seem like he was just saying some stuff. Then some of the stuff started coming out that turned out to be true. Now it goes from he's just saying some stuff to like, oh wow, the guy has some good info to, this guy might be just a CIA guy because he'll say that and then out of nowhere he'll say some other wild stuff. So we don't know if he's saying that and then he's saying wild stuff so people can think he's crazy or whatnot. But yeah, he's had a lot of predictions about that. One of them was being the fact that they turned the frogs gay. So a lot of other predictions that he had is that they're mapping the DMT realm, that they've made actually contact with beings from the DMT realm, allegedly, and that they actually have like communications with them. They actually have exchange programs and stuff like that. Like not between people, but they have communication and they're sharing
Yeah.
stuff. And then he said, he said that that's one of the many things that they've done, which eventually might turn out to be true. Who knows?
Do you think this is just being done by the U.S. government or other governments as well?
I think it's advanced the furthest in the U.S. government. I don't think it's only being
Wow.
done by the U.S. It might have been done by Russia. I don't know how much Russia is doing of anything these days. You know what I mean?
And it's kind of crazy because like when it comes to those DMT things, a lot of the I mean, there's like ayahuasca and I think like some other thing that comes like from the frog or something. And
the toad.
yeah, and there's like shamans out there that they practice this like these rituals and they guide you through this realm that you're talking about. So it's kind of weird that they have a government program running these things, but at the same time they have like shamans. They're kind of doing the same thing.
Right. But I think the government program kind of like
You think it's more science
they
based versus
streamlined
spiritual?
Yeah, they streamlined it now. Where to the point where it's like, all right, we're gonna stop your heart. We're gonna pump you with this. We're gonna keep pumping oxygen through your body, so you don't.
Yeah, and that's unethical as hell, dude.
They're doing some, bro. Like the government,
dark shit.
whenever the government gets caught, they're like, "Oh, my bad. We understand the error of ways." They don't stop. They just go more underground.
Yeah,
you know, like
they
the
get
Montauk
curious
project.
and-
Yeah, like the whole Montauk project.
Yeah.
And then the whole MK Ultra project, where they were experimenting with LSD and trying to get mind control, see if it works. A lot of these people were a lot of these people were what's the word I'm looking for? Subjects of the MK Ultra project. Whitey Bulger from he used to be they made a movie out of him with the Pirates of the Caribbean guy. what's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, when he was playing Whitey Bulger, I think he was part of the MK Ultra project.
Wow.
And Whitey Bulger used to be like in the mob or something like that back in the day. So yeah, no, they're doing some stuff, bro. They're doing some wild stuff. Alex Jones calls them out. Well, I don't know, calls them out, but he always says it, and people don't believe him. But he's the only one who's been kind of spot on a lot of the times, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about the frog thing and what's in the water and
Oh, so they're saying that they're turning the frogs gay, right? That was the the funny thing is like
yeah.
it's not really that they're turning the frogs gay, that they're changing the not purposely either, that the chemicals in the water are doing something to the genetic makeup of the frogs that ends up changing their sex to the point where they're able to male frogs are now slowly turning into females to the point where they can actually give birth or some wild stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's just recently um, came came to light, I believe. Another thing that they're saying is that the was the pill, the birth control pill,
Yeah.
um, is it's the chemicals in that pill are not able to be filtered out through the water system, through the tap water system, and so we drink it, and so that might be contributing to the possible decrease of testosterone in males and possibly the rise of estrogen, and worse, obviously, with the chemicals of the frogs and then the whole birth control pill thing, the chemicals in the water that might possibly be what allegedly the opinions shared in the Jcast podcast are our opinions. We're not making any scientific claims. Please fact check us. Say whatever you want. Leave something in the comments. It's fine. Allegedly, that might be what's causing a lot of possible gender dysphoria among teenagers. It might not just be a social contagion that one teenager sees it and he says or she says, "Ooh, this person's getting attention. I want to do that too." It could be that they legit feel this way as a result of being exposed to these chemicals in the water.
Wow, that's freaking
Yeah,
insane.
and
If
by
that's
the way,
case.
and we're not blaming women's liberation movement. Please leave us alone with that stuff. We're not blaming nobody. We're just pointing out possible causes of this.
Do you think it also messes with the fertility of humans as well?
Could be. It could be. Now, people are saying that the fertility rate has been increasing worldwide, and so a lot of people are like, well, it's socioeconomic stuff. People don't want to have kids. They want to have kids later on in life, and all that stuff is true. But I, it could be a possibility that is affecting their conceiving, being able to conceive, right? You can't say you can explain away via socioeconomics the fact that people are not having kids, saying, oh, they want to wait for the right time, et cetera, et cetera. But you're not able to explain through socioeconomics why the testosterone levels of males are dropping. You're not able to explain through socioeconomic stuff why the sperm count of males supposedly is dropping.
Yeah.
You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, and it's been happening like is it every year, every like
It's
decade or something?
For the past 50 years, it's decreased like, I don't remember, I don't have the numbers with me on the top of my head, but I think something is happening. You gonna look up the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, while Jay's doing that, yeah. So basically, the numbers are saying that male sperm cell is dropping, testosterone is dropping, and people are not having babies. Now, the fact of the matter is that people are choosing not to have babies. You can explain that away, but not the testosterone, not the sperm cell stuff. What you got? What you got, Jay?
Give me a sec. I'm trying to get a chart over here, man. So
Oh, and make sure you say the source, like the website.
uh this is coming from Economics Today.
Pull it up, Jamie.
So it seems like from 1987 to 1989, from the ages of 45 to 71.
87 to 89.
Yeah, 1987 to 1989, there was a decrease. Nah, this doesn't make sense. Never mind. Let me look for a better source.
Ladies and gentlemen, while Jay gets his sources situated, are you guys leave something in the comment? We're probably gonna clip this part out. Leave something in the comment. Are you guys afraid about that? Do you guys think that this is all by design, where they're trying to scare us into not having kids, mentally, so people don't have kids, but also physiologically they're affecting us? We always keep hearing about population explosion or population boom or all that stuff? Could it be that there is no population boom? Could it be that they actually are trying to control us and dwindle the population? You got anything, Jay?
Yeah, so it says the average testosterone level of a 60-year-old man in 1987 was 17.5 NMOL. I don't know what the hell that stands for per liter. And this study was done on 2007. So compared to the men of 2002, it went from 17.5 per liter to 15 per liter. So it seems that based on this average testosterone levels in men are declining 1% every year since 1987.
That is concerning.
And this research was done based on Finnish and Danish populations. So I don't know how accurate this is.
Finnish and Danish population. That's fine.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the submarine you said?
Yeah, the submarine, man. The oh my gosh. So I was watching a whole bunch of videos.
There we go.
Of the
Jay's coming
submarine.
alive.
Yeah, man. So it was a tragic thing that happened. A lot of people were like, talking about how, there were billionaires that were there, just like in the Titanic and all that
I want to get
stuff.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get to that as well. But I also want to talk about what happened that wasn't like talked about. Like it was kind of like a distraction and stuff.
You think it was a distraction?
Yeah, definitely was a distraction, man. There was a lot of things that were happening in the background. Like you sent me the article of the $6 billion that they
yes
for the Ukraine people. I think they gave them over $6 billion, right? I
think they gave him. I don't know if they were supposed to give him $3 billion and they gave them $6 billion, or if they were supposed to give him $6 billion and give him.
Yeah, it was like an additional $6 billion that they gave him that they didn't have to give him. So
My bad.
For the Ukraine people of
Keep
the
the
war
change.
that's going on. Yeah, pretty much. Also,
And we want to just say this real quickly. When they gave that money to Ukraine, I don't think they gave it to Ukraine. I think they gave it to the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, I agree, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's definitely like what's behind everything now. It's the pharmaceutical company, the military complex. It's all these private sectors now that control the government.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, we're a capitalist country, so.
No, but this is something else now. This became something other than capital. Because capitalism is free market capitalism. The way it's supposed to work is you take your money, right, and then you start selling a product or a service, and that's it. And you compete in the free market with other people who are selling the same product or service. And obviously, you do your best to get them a better product or service for a cheaper price than the competition. That's how free market capitalism is supposed to work. You don't just go to the government, right, and say, hey, we're friends. Can you make it difficult for my competitor to operate? That's not free market capitalism. That's what you call crony capitalism.
Yeah, crony. So based on there was like this unfortunately I'm not gonna give credit to this person because like it was I'm kind of remembering from top of my head. It was just like an Instagram reel that I watched.
Yeah.
And so in this video they're basically mentioning what was covered over the weekend but wasn't mentioned because everyone was too distracted with the whole submarine trapped under the water with a whole bunch of billionaires.
Yeah.
So one of them is that JP Morgan and Epstein's emails were released, and now they have just mistakenly deleted 47 million emails.
Whoops.
Yeah. Another thing that happened was that Joe Biden is undergoing an impeachment vote, I think, right?
Yeah, by Lauren Boebert, I think.
Yeah.
That's not going to go through.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And did you hear about the whole Hunter thing? The Hunter Biden?
Yeah, I want to get to that.
Did he get convicted?
Damn, yeah, he did, I think.
But did they convict him for all the charges or no?
I think it doesn't even matter. I'm going to tell you what I think happened there.
Okay.
And then we'll circle back.
And then the other thing was, the $6 billion to Ukraine. Based on what I saw the reel, they said that he just got a slap on the wrist for the Hunter thing.
Yeah, and I think the reason that they did that to Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Before we continue on the submarine talk, last time scandal with Hunter Biden came out, it was the 2020 election, and they stifled the story. After Biden won the elections, everybody was talking about. Now it became safe to talk about the Hunter Biden laptop, and it wasn't considered Russian disinfo. Now it's okay. Now they're like, well, we can't play that card again, and this guy's still on the news. We have to make an example out of him because if we don't, he's going to ruin, if Biden's running again, right? He's going to ruin Biden's chances of winning the next election if they want him to win again. And so they make an example out of him by convicting him and saying, see, nobody's above the law.
Was the FBI involved in that?
This case?
Yeah, they're saying a lot of FBI whistleblowers were disappearing as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
All I can tell you is that they didn't convict him last time and they just stifled it, but the story became too big now to the point where he's still in the media. I don't know why. I don't know why people keep...
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps putting... I don't know if he's putting himself on the media, but they're doing it now to show people like, see, we're the department. Like he got indicted while his father was president. His father didn't step in or do anything at all, supposedly. So it's like to not ruin his chances of re-election. Now they want to make a show out of it, but it's a spectacle where it's like, look, we convicted him, and that's it. We're not trying to hide anything. You know,
It's kind of messed up because, like you mentioned, it's like they didn't convict him during the elections.
the 2020 elections. They not only did not convict him,
messed
they
up.
stifled the story, which turned out to be true with the Hunter Biden laptop story. That everybody bought hook, line, and sinker. Right? That's the phrase, hook, line, sinker.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker. And freaking, everybody was immediately like, "Oh, this is a Russian disinformation thing," and then Twitter was stifling the story from the the New York Post, if I'm not mistaken. And then it turned out it was true after the elections were done.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're investigating Trump. Did they find anything about supposedly he was involved with Russians or something like that?
Yeah, I
that
mean,
led to nothing, right?
whatever your things are or your thoughts are on Trump. Like I said, man, you don't become a billionaire by playing fair and by following all the rules. You know what I mean? I'm not justifying it either. I'm just saying, like, if you search any billionaire, you're gonna find some dirt. You're gonna find a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
If you search presidents, you're gonna find some dirt. You're gonna find a lot of dirts, except maybe Jimmy Carter. You know, you might not find nothing on Jimmy Carter because Jimmy Carter supposedly was pretty straightforward. But
Really?
yeah. He wasn't even liked that much when he was president by nobody.
Wow.
But yeah, if you search for any of these presidents, you're gonna find dirt anywhere. Like for example, not a lot of people know that Dick Cheney, when he became vice president, he used to be the CEO of I think Halliburton, I believe, one of these big companies. And so when they bombed the Middle East, who do you think was rebuilding like the Middle East and stuff like that?
What, the president's company or
Halliburton.
Halliburton?
Maybe. Supposedly, yeah.
Wow.
I would look into that.
You got
though,
a
if I were
big
you.
contract, man.
Yeah, but if you search deep enough, you don't even have to search deep enough. You just, if the media doesn't like you, put it that way, they'll find anything on you, anything at any time. I remember the media was throwing everything at Trump. They tried to even say Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti, the lawyer, were like, oh yeah, we're coming after him because he breached of contract or whatever, some nonsense that they did, and that didn't stick either. So,
Yeah.
but the submarine, man, real quick. So, I heard that the submarine, I think the Navy, the U.S. Navy or Coast Guard, and I don't know if it's stuff like urban legend type of stuff, but I heard they been you.
Yeah, no, they confirmed that on Sunday they knew. Yeah.
And they said that, yeah, allegedly, they reported it to the reporters in the news media and stuff like that. Like, yeah, look, this is what happened. This noise or whatever is consistent with an implosion. Here you go. It's not our job to report it to the public. It's your job. And they didn't report it until afterwards. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, man, it's like
Allegedly.
Where do you go? Yeah, where do you go for the news now, man? For accurate news.
That's the thing, right? Everywhere you go now, when you hear the news, you're like, okay, where did it come from? From CNN? If it came from CNN, you know you're gonna get a left biased take. If it comes from Fox, you know you're gonna get a right biased take. You know what I mean? So now it's like, okay, well, let me talk to the people around me. What are they seeing?
Yeah.
What are they saying? What are they experiencing? And then when they tell you that stuff, you can be like, okay, which news agency is reporting closest to the anecdotal evidence now? Because you can't trust the news media. It does not even to be edgy, man. This is straight up. Like, you're not gonna expect to get any unbiased journalism from a group of people who have sponsors. It's just the bottom line.
And do you think the people that were in the submarine, do you think that they were, was this planned? That,
No, man. I don't think it was planned. I think the guy, the gentleman who owns the submarine company, he was told by a whole bunch of engineers, like, bro, this stuff is not
safe.
Is not safe. You don't want to use it. I think he was using, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly, please fact check us. I think he was using something like carbon fiber on the submarine, and they were like, dude, no, you can't use this, X, Y, and Z. Don't want to use this.
Was that one of the only submarines that was able to go down that depth? Like, I heard only the Navy and maybe another submarine that was like halfway across the world is able to go that deep.
James Cameron went that deep.
No, no, no. What I'm saying, like that was like one of the only submarines that was able to go that deep, other than the Navy, that was like available.
Supposedly, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, right, the material that he used, um, number one, I'm not a submarine expert, but from the little that I gathered, materials sometimes show fatigue, and you can know like, okay, this is not good, or okay, it's time to change it or whatever. Carbon fiber doesn't, but it immediately like it goes from 0 to 100.
Oh
So it's
wow.
like if it's gonna go immediately. You don't know. Oh, there's some cracks in the foundation, or there's some cracks here. Look, it's changing a different color. Nothing, and so supposedly now the consensus is that the submarine imploded under all that pressure, but not just imploded and crushed them. Supposedly the implosion like was so quick and so massive that it actually caused like the thing to get as hot as the sun or as the surface of the sun for like 200 milliseconds.
Wow.
So the people who
So
were
they
in
were
it,
cooked alive, or think, or
hopefully, bro, they didn't feel anything. Hopefully it was just
yeah.
like a flash.
Damn. Well,
So, but the people's reactions to that though was kind of disgusting a little bit.
yeah. I saw a whole bunch of memes online.
Yeah, and it's like I get it, I get it. They were rich, and you guys don't like rich people. Fine, whatever, whatever. But yo, like, you're rich to somebody else. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't want your family being talked to like that by people who have less than you.
Yeah.
And so, and not just people who have less than you, but people in general, you don't celebrate that kind of stuff. Whether you like somebody or not. Even soldiers, when they kill other soldiers, they're not out here like dancing on top of these soldiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever the case is, man, I hope those families. Well, actually, we hope those families are okay. May God bring peace to their lives, cause one of them was a kid, man, who didn't even want to go.
Wow.
He was like, I said kid, he was 19, and he was a kid.
You got a lot to live for, man.
Yeah,
Or a
and
long life.
he wanted to go to like with his dad for Father's Day and stuff like that, and that's what happened. But yeah, the submarine went 2 miles deep with a PlayStation controller. Is like it was completely unadvised by all the professionals in the field. It was completely there was not one professional in the field, that that's come forward anyways, that actually said, yeah, this is a good idea with these materials. These materials you got, they're good. So, and then the one guy who was like really vocal about it, who worked with him, he was let go from
You
the
let go of,
company.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and then he actually sued them because he said I guess it was wrongful termination. He
Yeah.
actually won money off of it, bro.
Wow.
So not only does he have a clear conscience, but he actually got rewarded for like putting that kind of stuff out. So, speaking of controversies, I don't know if you've heard about Joe Rogan trying to host a debate between Dr. Hotez, I think his name is, and RFK Jr. You heard about that?
Yeah, man. I heard a bunch of people actually propose money if they actually go with it.
So
Go
the
through
great
with
thing
it.
is this, right? And this is why this lets me know that these people don't care about the people they claim to care about. I'm talking about the people who are Dr. Hotez. If somebody offered you $100,000, right, to a charity of your choice to debate something you believe in,
Yeah.
that you vouched for, I don't want to say shield for, but that's essentially what you were doing, that you shield for, not you, obviously, but that you were like
Yeah.
front and center and can't, yeah, because you never know. Then the people like, oh, Jay's insulting Jay. Whatever.
Imagine.
But if somebody offered you 100 grand to debate some non-doctor guy who's a politician, win or lose, you get 100 grand to a charity of your choice. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you're the expert, supposedly, in the field of vaccines. That should be a no-brainer, knock it out the park, good to go. But he didn't do it. Why? Like, well, I don't have to waste my time. Like, bro, you can put vaccine hesitancy to an end forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he didn't do it.
Did he say why, or he just said that?
They not him directly, but his peers and people who are pro that, they were saying that they don't want to give legitimacy to anti-vax, because everybody's an anti-vaxxer who doubted this COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
They don't want to give legitimacy to anti-vaxxers. They try to put them under that umbrella. They don't want to give any legitimacy to those anti-vaxxers. They just want them to kind of just not be heard, I guess. Because if a doctor goes ahead, I would have debated. If I was like pro-vaccine and all that stuff, I would have debated. I would have debated anybody on that. Especially if you guys are saying, "Oh, we'll give you 100 grand to a charity of your choice if you debate these vaccines." Bro, that's It's a no-brainer. I go, I defend what I believe in. That's supposedly true, so it should be easy. And then like a charity of my choice gets 100 grand.
Do you
A
think
100 grand from people that I don't like from your enemy. Not from
Yeah.
I don't know if you're enemy, but from your adversaries, right?
Yeah. Do you think that he maybe doesn't believe in it? What he's saying, or
It's they try to take the high road of like, I'm not even gonna dignify this with a response. But I think these people got
or they think it's like below them?
they say that like I'm not even gonna dignify this with a response. But for all we know, even they might not believe in it. Allegedly, I don't. They know that they got bought and paid for, and they're like, I can't defend this. This stuff clearly violated all the protocols and like the medical protocols. How am I gonna go over there and defend that for 100 grand of a charity of my choice? Screw that. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
He probably. I'm not saying he didn't. Just my opinion, my own opinion specifically. But he probably didn't believe that the COVID-19 worked as advertised. He might have believed it for a second. And then the moment people started getting sick again or didn't stop transmission like they said, he was like, "Whoops!" But I'm on this side now, so I gotta hold the line.
Yeah.
I gotta show the unified front. And RFK Jr. was saying, "Hey, let's debate." And by the way, I'm actually audiobooking RFK Jr. is the real Dr. Fauci. He had a lot of good stuff on that. I'm not gonna get into it. Maybe the next episode, but it's messed up. Him, somebody like AOC, who supposedly said her grandma's roof in Puerto Rico caved in or something, and then Republicans were like, "Oh, let's donate money to give it to AOC for her grandma's building in PR," and they donated like 100 grand. They raised 100 grand, but she never took it.
Wow.
It's like, do you care about your grandma? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, why didn't the Democrats also like I don't know rally some money up just to help her out? Like.
No, because this was it wasn't. It was like the Republicans were trying to make a point.
Oh, maybe that's why. Well.
Yeah, I would have taken, bro. I would have taken it, bro. I would have taken it. Like, thanks. You still trash, but thanks, my grandma thanks you.
Yeah.
And then I would have given that money to like causes to like the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
You know, like all that stuff. Like none of that stuff makes sense that they don't do this, unless unless you're just everything you've been saying was just virtue signaling. The vaccines maybe were just virtue signaling. Now somebody's like, hey, you know what? A possible presidential candidate wants to debate you on the efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccines, and you're gonna get paid 100. And it started with 100 grand, but it went up as high as like what, $500,000
for the
debate.
Yeah, for the debate. No, more. Dude. I think it was like 2.3 million.
Bro, some guy gave $10. Yo,
Yeah.
shout out to that guy. But yo, to a charity of your choice,
Yeah.
win or lose, which to you should think like, hey, I'm gonna win anyways.
Yeah.
This is easy money. I'm a doctor. I've been studying this for years, forever. You know, like this is my thing. This is easy money. It's like somebody said, "Hey, Mayweather, I'm gonna pay you $2 billion to fight a guy who says that you're not a real boxer, that you're a fraud." You think Money Mayweather gonna say no to that?
Well, I get.
Out of fault.
No.
He gonna say
no,
yeah.
no, because I get it. Mayweather would say no to certain fights depending on the money.
He fought Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers.
Yeah, but that was because of the money and the clout and everything. But
Bro, what I'm trying to say is this: $2 billion. Let's say money for Mayweather.
I get you. Yeah, 2 million it should mean something for that guy.
Yeah, for Mayweather,
Yeah.
nah, you crazy. Not for $2 million. I don't think he would do it, but $2 billion for
Yeah.
Mayweather.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and not even. Hey, half a bill,
Yeah, he would.
500 mil, 250 mil, 200 mil, even
Yeah.
200 mil to box some guy who says that he doesn't think you're a real fighter. He thinks you're a fraud.
Yeah, easy money. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the same thing. Some politician, some 69-year-old politician saying that he doesn't, and you're gonna say no. And this is your field. Like somebody come into your house saying, "Yo, show me what you can do, and I'm gonna pay you $2 million to a charity of your choice." And everybody wanted to see that debate. For years, we had to listen to people go on the news talking about insulting these people. But now these people have a voice in Twitter, thanks to Elon Musk, which is a different conversation. But now these people have a voice in Twitter. Now they can talk their stuff. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, you know, I'm not gonna dignify that with a response. I'm not gonna legitimize this type of. You know how to legitimize what? You know, open discussion, open debate.
Yeah.
You know. Really quick, a quick medical story. I don't know if you noticed, but a long time ago there was a guy who actually said that he believes that you gotta wash your hands before you. It's common sense now, right?
Yeah.
But do you know that at that time when he says you gotta wash your hands before before you deliver babies, you know what I mean? Wash your hands, sterilize your hands, stuff like that. they laughed. I think they laughed at him to the point where he ended up dying in an insane asylum.
No way.
Yeah. So what we take for granted now is considered established science now,
Yeah.
which is obvious now, right? Back in the day, it was like some guy had to actually point that out, like, yo, people are dealing with dead people, or they're dealing, and I'm paraphrasing, he didn't say it word for word. They're dealing with corpses, they're doing operations, and then they're gonna go and deliver babies.
Yeah. Wow. That's insane. And
And then
they thought he was crazy for thinking
for saying,
that.
hey, maybe you should wash your hands,
Yeah.
right? And because so, just what I'm saying is you can't go on consensus because the consensus back then was that you didn't have to wash your hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Hotez, the ball's in your court, bro. Like, if you guys don't, the thing is, we're not gonna add legitimacy to this, but if you don't stand up for this when they're calling you out on it, and they're offering you, these people believe in the cause so much that they're offering you 2.3 mil win or lose to a charity of your choice, and you're not gonna do it. That in and of itself adds legitimacy to that discussion.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, you don't want to talk about this? Why now? Why are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
This is true, right? You believe in this? You worked on this?
That's weird, man. Who else do you know that mentions certain things and talks about certain things, but when they're asked certain questions, they kind of like fall back and don't want to
I
answer
like
the
that.
questions.
This is a great segue to the Just Pearly things, right?
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Just Pearly things came under a lot of fire again.
Bro, she's been getting flamed left and right, bro.
Bro, now for those of you guys who want a full context of this, look at the H3 podcast of Just Pearly Things and their discussion on slavery.
She got destroyed.
Bro, so Just Pearly Things, according to what we saw, and please go watch it. I'm not gonna try to make this seem out of context, but she seemed to be insinuating, or implying that slavery in the United States was not that bad, according to her, not according to the Jaycast podcast, according to Just Pearly Things. And so when pressed on it, she started like fumbling and tripping over words and saying that she doesn't want to answer that question because then she can get canceled and it's going to be taken out of context. But it's like, yo, if I would have been her, I would have gone to my platform like the next day and explained myself. Like, what did I mean when I said that, blah, blah. I don't think she did that.
No.
And Just Pearly Things she's been on the fire since the whole Nick Fuentes thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from that moment on, I was like, oh, that sucks. But I kind of been already suspicious of her.
You know what's crazy? I think I mentioned this like 3 episodes. Yeah, like episode 15 or something when we had that Just Pearly Things video short that they took down. But anyway, I remember.
It's freaked up.
Yeah, it is freaked up. I used to watch Just Pearly Things, man.
She had good content.
Yeah, and
Hey,
so
look,
the good thing that you brought it to my attention though that she's a grifter, bro. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is. She is utilizing the manosphere.
yeah. She's the it's the same thing as OnlyFans, but from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
Whereas like OnlyFans give men physical needs, and then she's giving her and other people, not just her, but she's giving men mental needs. Where it's like, yeah, you're right, the system is rigged against you. Yeah, marriage is not good for you. Yeah, man, men have it harder than women, and men have it this, and men have it that, and then they're like, oh yeah, a pretty girl, is on our side finally. Somebody who gets us. It's like, no, bro, this thing's been discussed for years.
Yeah, and there was an interview. I don't know if it was with Destiny or if it was the H3 thing, but it was basically someone asked her the question. I forgot who the guy was, and he was asking her, how come you're giving advice to men? And she was like, no, I'm not giving advice to men. My channel is all about entertainment. And then that got, like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what's so entertaining about having...
These are serious issues.
Yeah, these are serious issues, having men and women on your panel and just discussing... They're not even, like... They're not even coming up with solutions. They're just going back and forth, basically insulting each other.
Yeah, they're citing numbers.
It's like a Jerry Springer.
Kinda, yeah. And
Yeah.
and the only people... And I hate to say this part, but not really. The only people who seem to get off on that are the lonely men.
Yeah.
Who still get off, who are still in a point in their lives, right, where they're still like going through some stuff. So seeing this kind of makes them feel better.
Yeah.
And for those of you guys listening, hopefully you get out of that space, man, where you don't take enjoyment out of watching people be humiliated on on platforms and getting kicked out and being humiliated. Hopefully, you guys, can move past that and do better, and you will do better, and you guys will get past that. I just hope it comes sooner, because you don't want to look back on it and realize how much time you wasted watching these shows where pretty women get humiliated. And it's not just because they're pretty women, but just in general, watching anybody come on a show and they're gonna get humiliated. These people are too young to kind of understand like the whole thing. I don't want to say they're bimbos, right? But they're not well read on these things. They just get them on the show and they get them upset and then they kick them out.
Yeah.
But basically, man,
Do you think she's like she knows what she's doing, right?
of
Like,
course she knows what she's doing. And then also, when somebody's might be somewhat of a grifter when you start pressing them on certain things they believe in. So like Ethan Klein,
yeah.
you might not like the guy, man, but when he started asking her about the slavery questions, you said it. You better come with,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you better say what you meant and how you meant it if you really believed in it.
Yeah.
Marriage, the whole thing with marriage and then divorce things. They asked her, so the marriage laws are unfair towards men. Not disagreeing there, right? According to most men, but then domestic violence. She's like, well, I don't think divorce should exist. Pearl, just Pearly things, whatever your name is. Like,
Yeah, when she said that, bro, I
at
was
no
like,
point are you gonna sit here and tell me that somebody in an physical abusive relationship should endure. You like that one? Shout out to shout out to that.
to that guy.
Yeah, should endure being physically like. She has seven brothers and sisters.
I think she understands that, but again, she's catering to those that want to hear that. They want to hear someone that basically is giving them that feeling. Yeah, she understands.
And here's the thing, right? So now she's at a crossroads of you can either be considered an idiot or you can be considered a grifter. A grifter is like, blah blah. An idiot is like, yeah, they shouldn't leave. They should stay in that relationship and they should work it out and he should get help and they shouldn't divorce. Well, if there's somebody who believes what they're saying.
Yeah.
Is she coming across as a possible, I don't want to say idiot, but is she coming across as somebody who might come across as a little unhinged? Maybe. But she believes what she's saying. She's offering you a solution. But when pressed in the corner and put in the corner and you know what I mean, cornered and asked, hey, you said this. If you look at the, like, no. Should women stay in abusive relationships with their husbands?
It's a yes or no.
The answer has always got to be no.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to say you believe that divorce is illegal, then that implies that you think that they should stay in an abusive relationship with their husbands, right? And if you're going to imply that, you got to stand by that. Not that it makes it okay, but you got to stand by that. Otherwise, people are going to call you a grifter.
Which she's a grifter, bro. She's a...
Yeah, man, taking advantage of lonely men, bro. Everybody's taking advantage of lonely men, all right? Now, I get it. It might sound like I'm like, oh, that's not fair. But, yo, everybody taking advantage of lonely men. The OnlyFans people, just Pearly things. Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, bro. Like, he was running these webcam things, taking advantage of lonely men, and then turning around and saying, you've got to work hard and get a Bugatti. Yeah. You've got to work hard and get, like...
Well, that actually... Damn.
Yes, I get it. It was legal. I'm not questioning the legality of it.
No. Like when he did that, he wasn't popular. Like no one knew about him. He didn't even have a Bugatti. You get me? When he did that, he was like young. That was like how he made his money.
But doesn't he still have the war room?
Yeah.
And still does stuff like that?
Nah, his war room thing is there's two things. There's the real world and the war room. The real world is like selling you the dream. Like, hey guys, if you want to do like Amazon and real estate and all different ways to like make money. He has like experts and shit that they teach you how to do that crap. Just like all these like Sobe gurus online and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing that. Like,
and then the war room is different. The war room, you actually have to have like receipts that you're a multimillionaire, or you're not going to be able to go into that club or whatever. So that's different. But yeah, I mean, he did that. He did take advantage of damn. Yeah, I guess he did. But the thing is, like, I know he admitted to it, but I think that was like prior to his when he got up and he started like doing the whole, hey guys, you should better yourself and all this crap.
Well, no, I mean that's fine, but just in general, my thing is like people taking advantage of lonely men, and people like, oh, we know.
Yeah, he was part of that. Yeah.
And like, well, men take advantage of women too. Like, yeah, that's wrong. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
I remember I remember that he also said, Andrew also said, it was pretty messed up, man, but. he said that he used to go behind the computer and actually type for the cam girls because the
Yeah.
cam girls, like, I guess his point was that girls don't know how to attract men, so he would go behind.
Allegedly, and according to Andrew Tate.
Yeah, yeah. According to Andrew Tate, so he would go behind the scenes, actually type, and act like as if he was, the actual girl and stuff, and which is messed up because
Well,
he's
he was
selling the
hustling.
dream. Yeah,
He's hustling.
he was selling the dream to the guy, and I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's not forcing anyone, but still, knowing that you're fooling a man to give his money to technically to
Yeah.
him because he was charging a percentage for that as well.
But yo, going back to the Just Pearly things, and I heard supposedly she's moving back to Chicago, and
Oh, she's coming back to America.
supposedly, yeah, allegedly, and that she's allegedly looking for interns, which I obviously know what that implies, that not to pay them,
Yeah.
and so
Hmm.
I think her brand is getting beat up. Number one, it started with the Nick Fuentes. She could have
Yeah.
just been regularly talking, saying these points, getting like more well versed in them. She could have just been doing that regularly, but yo, sometimes you gotta just double down on what you believe to protect your brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Again, if she knows what she's doing and if she knows she's taking advantage of men, bro, then I don't consider her a good human. Like at the end of the day.
Look, it's coming across as she is now because she's not defending. She's not. You know what I mean? She's not saying like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, look, here's the statistics, here's this, here's this, here's this. She's coming out with a documentary supposedly.
And she can't even relate to the man's struggle, bro. Doesn't she come from like a rich family or something?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Supposedly, according to her and according to other sources, we don't know, obviously.
and no, she talks about it. And another thing is that she's always talking about how, when a woman is a certain age, she's getting to that age where, it's a cutoff, she's losing value and all that stuff. But yeah, she's reaching that age now. I think she's at that age range right now too.
Honestly, I wish the best for her, man. But like, yo, maybe
I think she should kind of lay off on things that
lay off on things like this because these are sensitive topics. And if you're gonna say things that are controversial,
Yeah, they're gonna eventually she's gonna contradict herself. She's gonna fall on
or
that
you
bucket.
better be ready to get pressure applied and defend what you're saying.
Yeah.
So when you say things that are not good, like, and I quote, slavery might not have been that bad, according to, allegedly according to Just Pearly things. Well, you have to be ready to defend that when somebody says, "What do you mean it wasn't that bad in the United States?"
Yeah.
Like we fought a civil war over it. Nobody fights over something that's not that bad.
I think she also mentioned that there was slaves that had like privileges and had a good relationship with their master.
But
And
the
it's
fact that you
like-
have a master, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so like the Nick Fuentes thing, whoever was kind of defending her before, I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I would like to get your opinions in the comment section below. Like in the comment section below, type why you're still rocking with Just Pearly things outside of like she says. She brings awareness to men's issues like they haven't been doing that before in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think she needs to step down, to be honest.
I think
From the
she's
whole manosphere thing.
the whole manosphere thing gotta go. That thing is done. I think
It's corrupt.
it's corrupt. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
grifters now. It's a bunch of either grifters or people or frauds taking advantage. Buy my course, buy my book,
Yeah.
pay this, pay that, join this. If you join this, you get this. You get exclusive content and blah 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 and this that, and the other. And it's a hustle. And look, man, good for you guys. You're making your money. But
Damn man, there's so much content I consume on YouTube. There was this one of the guys from the Manosphere, I forgot the guy's name, but he was basically saying that the guys who are actually getting the girls out there, they're not coaching guys how to get girls. They're getting the girls.
they're too busy
They're
getting.
they're too busy like getting the girls. You know what I mean? Like they're not out here trying to sell like a course or something.
And another thing about that too, pickup artists, that whole pickup artist culture,
Yeah,
they can show you how to get a girl, but to be successful in a relationship, which is I'm assuming what guys want, what some
Yeah.
guys want, you can't count on the pickup artist for that. You gotta go to another group of people now
Yeah.
to show you how to be in a successful relationship and how to
Yeah.
carry yourself. Hi, my name is John. How are you? Nice to meet you. You wanna go on a date? Okay, cool. Now you're on a date. Now what? What do you talk about now? That's a separate
Yeah.
dimension, you know?
True.
But yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Should Just Pearly things switch your brand? Supposedly somebody was hinting. I think his name is O'Shea Duke Jackson, and O'Shea. I'm sorry if I'm misquoting you here. I mean no disrespect, but he actually was saying. I'm paraphrasing here that she's trying to work her way into the conservative circles.
Really?
Yeah, and like into like the right wing conservative circles.
That's why she's coming back to America.
Well, maybe not. I don't know why, but that's supposedly like the suspicion. So
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
yeah, like you said something, you gotta stand on it, you gotta defend it, and you gotta even risk looking a bit foolish to defend your brand.
Yeah.
If you want to. Otherwise, you never believed in it in the first place. That's the only thing I can tell you.
We'll see, man. The truth will. I mean,
Yeah, some people.
set her free one day, I guess.
Some people like you accuse them of something and they'll like lightly deny, like, nah, I didn't do that, and they're like, yes, you did, we did this, and then eventually they're like, yeah, I did. Now what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I said it, or yeah, I did it. Now what? Like,
Yeah.
I did it because I wanted to.
And
I thought.
that actually, gains respect.
Yeah, like, all right, this guy's a nut
Yeah.
job, but this
People from your audience be like, okay, you know what? She's about what she talks about.
Donald
You know what I
Trump,
mean?
bro. But you mentioning Donald Trump, they're like, Donald Trump, you said this. Like, no, I didn't. He was like, and then they were like, yeah, you did. Look, it's right here. He was like, okay, I said it, but
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, he's like, yeah, but she is though, right? Or whatever.
Oh, shit.
It's true though, isn't it? And even if it's not true, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's the way to be. I'm just saying, with our 50 subscribers, thank y'all by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man.
With our 50 subscribers, you're like,
It's cool. Every episode, we keep mentioning higher a subscriber count, man. It's
Thanks,
good.
suckers. No, I'm kidding. No, but the thing, going back to the whole brand thing is like, you can tell when somebody truly believes what they're saying when they just double down on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people can be like, well, that causes cognitive dissonance. All that stuff aside, you can't call them a grifter.
Yeah.
You can call them foolish, you can call them misguided, but you cannot call them grifters. Sneeko, I don't think he's a grifter. Maybe a little misguided, but not a grifter.
Yeah, man. He changed up, and I mean, there's a lot of it's crazy how he's on panels now with people that he disagrees on, and he doesn't back down.
Yeah, and it's not
It's
even
like-
about backing down. It's just about believing what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, but that was it. Thanks guys for listening in. As always, anything else, Jay?
No, that's basically it. Just stay tuned. We're gonna release more and more content throughout the week, so just look out for that.
Alrighty, guys. Take care. Peace.